It's time for the Absolute Wireless Show, April 21st, 2017. Take it away, Jim.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is another episode of the Absolute Wireless Show, and this is a very important, very special occasion in that we are officially announcing to everyone on this episode that we have just acquired the state of Alabama and 13 stores down there. So welcome to the team, Alabama. We're so happy to have you as a part of our team. And as of May 1st, we're going to be 333 team members strong. And guys, I'll tell you, we were exactly 1/10 that size when I came to work here. There were 32 team members. And wow, how crazy it has been over the past 8 years. But again, we're so happy to have you guys on board. For a lot of you, this is your first Absolute Wireless Show, so you're going to get to know us. You're going to get to experience the show. This one's a little bit different because we're doing this, but it comes out every week. And what it is it's about a 9 to 10 minute show, and it's really some informative information. It's some stats and congrats, and a lot of times it's some product knowledge too. So anyway, everybody get used to that. And so I got a couple topics I want to cover with you real quick. Number one, today is launch day for the Samsung S8. And I'm a dedicated Android user, so it's a big day for us around here, and it's an even bigger day for some of our stores. We had stores go above 30 pre-orders, and so thank you so much for being awesome, and it's going to pay off because you guys are the ones that are selling the fire out of stuff today. And so again, huge thank you to you. We definitely appreciate that. Now. It's going to be kind of crazy around here for the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be important that we stick to what works. So a couple things. Number one, we use the back door of the store so we don't run up our shopper track, right? Because Sprint still looks at our conversion, even though it's not on the Quintal report. It's a big deal. It's how they set some goals. It's how they do a lot of stuff on the back end at Sprint. It's based on our conversion rate, and that means we don't, as team members, we don't run up our own shopper track. Okay. Now, number two. Is that we stick to some of the things that we do, and that's the sales processes. And here's how it starts. It starts when we open the door and greet the customer. We greet them with a smile. And then it ends, as far as the in-store experience ends, when we walk them back to the front door, we open the door for them and we thank them for their business. Okay? Now, it's very critical. That's where we start and stop. But for a lot of the in-between, here's Robert.
Hi guys, Robert Hartline here with Absolute Wireless to talk a little bit more about I Care, a country way of saying care. Now listen, part of what every single Absolute Wireless employee does when a customer walks in our door is greet the customer. And we don't greet from sitting on our fanny, because when you sit on your fanny, you got no energy and you ain't got no excitement. So listen, when we greet a customer, the first thing that each and every one of us has to do in a store is soon as someone pulls open that door or pushes open that door and they walk on in, we stand and greet. Hi, welcome to Sprint. My name is Robert. How can I help you? They're going to come up with a statement, and you're going to ask them the very next question, and that is what their name is. Because you need to have it part of the name exchange, because it's critical to not only showing respect as part of the I Care, part of the excitement, it starts to build a rapport with the customer. Now, something I'm going to add to the mix of I Care, and this is what is going to be company-wide, is a new initiative to help increase our SBS scores, which is an indicator of whether or not that customer is going to be happy with us and give us a good survey. It's also a good indicator if they're going to give us a referral. And listen, we can build our entire company if we stop marketing today. We can build the entire business on taking care of customers, because when you take care of a customer, they talk about it with their friends. Now, how are we going to increase that? What are we going to add to that mix? And that is the exit. How do you do the exit? The exit is very simple. You've done the transaction. You've given them the card. You are all ready to go. And you say to them, Mr. Smith, let me walk you to the door. You grab the bag and you escort them to the door, and you hold the door open to them. And as you hand them the bag, you say these words: thank you for shopping with me. I really appreciate it. You have my card. If you need anything, I'm here to help. I want you to have a great day.
Nick, was I able to answer all of the questions for you today?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to thank you again for shopping with us. Here's my business card, so you can have that. If you have any questions in the future, please feel free to call me, email me. All my information's on there. If you have any more questions or need help, just let me know. And I hope that you have a great day.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Let me get the store for you.
You have a great day.
That's what I want you to say. Have a great day. And you know what? It's going to mean something to them. And it's going to mean something to you because it feels good to say something nice to someone, right? All right, guys. That's what I'm asking. Walk them to the door and hold the door open. It's going to be amazing for you and our sales. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, Robert. We appreciate you covering that for us. Now, remember, it does not stop with the in-store experience. The first thing you got to do once the customer leaves is send them that email. You promised them you were going to send them that email. So we send them the email, and it's just here's my contact information. Thanks for coming in. Let me know if you have any questions. Number 2, you got to make that follow-up call. We call all customers the very next day, and we go ahead and we ask them. Remember, we ask them as part of setting expectations. We say, Mr. Customer, I'm working tomorrow between the hours of 11 and 8 p.m. What would be a good time for me to give you a follow-up call just to check in, make sure everything's working well for you? And then they're going to tell you a time. Set yourself an email reminder so that you remember to call that customer back. The next thing in that process is we send 2 thank you cards to all 3 line deals and above. And so the first one goes out the very next day. It's just a thank you card saying thank you for your business. And the second one goes out on day 26. And that's so they get it on about day 30, about the same time their first bill's due. And you're reminding them that you are appreciative of their business and thanks for coming in. All right. And then from there, it's just making sure that we take great care of people. So you guys are good at that. We know how to do that. Let's continue to do that because that SPS score really is how did you make that customer feel? Did you make them feel welcome? Did you make them feel important? And for those of you who've spent some time with Mary Beth, remember she helped us work on our self-image. And a big piece of that is how we project ourselves to other people. And she said her favorite quote is, "People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel." And that really is what our SPS score is. So remember that when you're taking care of your next customer.
Thanks, Jim. Speaking of the way we make people feel, Lucas has an idea for you to try specifically with subprime customers. Lucas?
Hey, Absolute Wireless. So I wanted to check in with you guys really quick and cover something very important. The majority of our customers, subprime customers, and more importantly, subprime close rate and subprime walk rate. So what is subprime? A subprime is a customer who has less than perfect credit. And more importantly, most of the time, guys, a subprime customer is just somebody who doesn't have enough credit. Sprint's not going to hedge their bets that maybe a 20-year-old kid who's only had one job in his life can buy 5 iPhones and promise to pay back. So what you'll notice is if you've worked here long enough, 5 years ago, it was very uncommon to see subprime. Now with the way we sell phones, a lot of our customers are subprime. Who is subprime? About 83% of every customer we run a credit check on is a subprime customer. Guys, it's over 80%. That means almost every customer we run a credit check on is a subprime customer. So what's that tell you? If we're going to specialize in anything, we need to specialize in subprime sales. So currently, 83% of every time you guys run a credit check, it comes back as subprime. Currently, company-wide, we average right around 60% of those times we run a credit application and it's a subprime customer, we close them. So what's that tell me? That tells me that 40% of those customers that are subprime, we've taken the time, we've talked to them, we've quoted them, we've gotten their social security number, we've put it into RMS, we've created an account, and they walk out without buying something. That's huge. If you take into consideration 83% of every time we run credit, it's a subprime customer, it's crazy that 40% of those customers walk out. Guys, we have stores in the company right here in Nashville, Tennessee. We have stores that only close 40%. We have one store that I believe is at 41.3% of subprime customers they close. Again, what's that tell me? Not so much that they're closing 41%, but that tells me that over 60%, or right at 60% of almost every credit application they run, the customer decides not to buy. Why do subprime customers walk? They walk a lot of the times because we give them the next worst option. A lot of times a customer comes in, and whether it be the fault of the sales rep, which I've been guilty of this before, or it be the fault of a customer, where do we take them? We take them to the Galaxy S8. We take them to the new iPhones. We take them to all the big phones that companies have spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars marketing. Guys, we don't need to do that. I encourage you to know about the iPhone. I encourage you to know about the Galaxy S8. Read up on them. Be knowledgeable. But you guys need to set expectations early. What happens is a lot of time a customer may want 3 new Galaxy S8s. Now what happens is they're going to see, hey, 3 new Galaxy S8s, that might be $400 out the door. I don't have $400 out the door. Right around that time, where do we take them? We take them over to the Tribute phones, the J3 phones. And at that time, after we've already told them, no, you can't have this new fancy phone, now we're trying to convince them, well, for you, Mr. Customer, maybe this lower model of phone is going to fit you a little better. They don't want the next worst option. We want to make sure to pick a couple subprime phones. I encourage each of you to pick 1 to 3 phones in the store, like the Tribute phones, the J3 phones, phones that are really made to be for a subprime customer. And here's a trick I want to show you. Before you do anything with the customer, before you show them the iPhone, even if they want you to show them the iPhone, before you take them anywhere, as you pass the subprime phones you've picked, I simply want you to do this. Hey Jim, have you seen this phone yet? You know, this is the Tribute, one of my favorite phones in the store, and I want you to give them 2 facts on why it's your favorite phone in the store. Here's why. Is guys, when it comes time for you guys to quote them on the Galaxy S8, and they find out it's way too much money for them, or iPhone 7 Plus, 128 gig, and it's way too much money for you, what you're not going to do at that time is take them over to a dark, dusty corner of the store and say, well, we can sell you this. No, what you're going to have the power to do, because you set expectations early, is you're going to be able to say, hey Jim, you remember that phone I showed you 20 minutes ago? Literally, I said it was my favorite phone in the store. It was one of my favorite phones in the store. I love it. Remember, I told you the 2 reasons I love it. Let's go look at that phone. Now what you're enabling the customer to do is you're enabling the customer to buy a phone that they can afford, and they don't feel bad about it, guys. They still feel good about it because you've set expectations early. So again, Cliff Notes. I would need you guys to learn about some of the cheaper phones in the store. Learn the specs of them, learn the prices of them, and learn why customers will love them. Then what I want you to do is, as a customer walks in the store, before you show them anything else, set expectations early, because you never know what the customer is going to be approved for, and tell them why you love these phones they've probably never heard of. Then what you do is you go through your normal sales process, and if it turns out that subprime customer is going to have to walk, simply take them back over to that first phone you showed them when they walked in the door and say, what about this? Try that trick. Let me know how it works. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, guys.
Mark Miller just returned from a launch training, and he has a challenge for you. Let's hear what he wants to say. Mark?
What is up, Middle and West Tennessee? Just want to let you guys know, I just got back from the LG G6 launch training in Atlanta yesterday, and I'm sure by now you guys have experienced Jim Cripps talking about this little dealer called Nexstar in our trainings. Well, at this training that I was at, there were a group of Nexstar employees down there, probably 10, 15 of them, sitting in the corner, noticeably sticking out. And what I'm referring to is their attire. They dressed for success, they looked good, they were energetic. You look good, you feel good, you sell good, you make money. So my recommendation to you and my challenge to you guys, we have implemented this policy in East Tennessee and of course across the company as well, but in East Tennessee we started it in our store in Sevierville. So my challenge to you is look the part, walk the walk, talk the talk. We've been doing that in East Tennessee for months now. Dressing up, looking clean, neat, suits, ties. I'm actually dressed down today because I'm just wearing a tie. So, but sometimes I'll wear a jacket, suit, whatever. Point is ladies, you too, dress nice. The ladies from Nexstar there, nice dresses. They looked like they were all $70,000 a year people. That's how we should look. And if we're going to compete with this Nexstar company and overtake them like Jim so desperately wants, we can do it. But it starts with dressing for success. I challenge you guys, do it. Look good, see how you can do.
All right, gang, so that's this episode of the Absolute Wireless Show. For those of you that it's your first episode, I hope you enjoyed it. And for everybody else, I hope you did as well. And let's have a great week. Thanks, everybody.
Wait, hold on. One more thing. Alabama stores, if you would, send me a group pic to my email, because your faces are new to us and we would love to share them with the rest of the employees. We're glad to have you. Welcome aboard.